Hello, hope you're doing well, and welcome to my SMITE 2 Thanatos guide. Thanatos, the Hand of Death, is a relentless physical melee assassin who excels at executing weakened enemies and sustaining himself through kills. And today I'll be teaching you absolutely everything you need to know to master this high-risk, high-reward character. Thanatos brings a deadly combination of global presence, powerful execution potential, and strong sustain, making him one of SMITE 2's most dangerous assassins. However, his reliance on health for abilities and vulnerability during cooldowns require precision and smart decision making. This guide will cover everything from his abilities to his best build and strategies to maximize his impact. Note that I'll be posting guides for all of SMITE 2's characters, so make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on more SMITE 2 content. I've also linked my Discord server in the description. If you have any questions or want to join a friendly, toxic-free SMITE community, then our Discord is a perfect place for you. With that being said, let's dive into Thanatos' abilities. Thanatos' passive, Harvester of Souls, is what makes him one of SMITE's most self-sufficient assassins. This passive reveals enemy gods who are below the health threshold of your ultimate, Hovering Death, allowing you to identify and track potential execution targets. Killing an enemy provides a substantial heal and reduces the cooldowns on all of your abilities. Additionally, Thanatos uses health instead of mana to cast his abilities. This passive rewards calculated aggression, so always keep an eye on weakened enemies and prioritize finishing them off to stay healthy and ready for your next fight. His first ability, Death Scythe, is a projectile that deals heavy physical damage to the first target it hits and slows them for a short duration. What sets this ability apart is its sustained potential. Thanatos heals for a percent of the damage dealt, making it critical for staying alive in prolonged engagements. Death Scythe also deals bonus damage to enemy gods based on their max health, making it effective against both squishy targets and tanks alike. Since this projectile stops at walls and enemy gods hit, careful aim and positioning are essential to landing this ability consistently. Scent of Death is Thanatos' second ability, and it emphasizes his role as a relentless executioner. When activated, this ability grants him slow immunity, increased movement speed, and flat penetration. The movement speed bonus does increase if you are chasing after a target under your execution threshold. This ability is perfect for chasing fleeing enemies, repositioning in teamfights, or dodging skill shots. The added penetration also makes it easier to shred through high protection targets. His third ability, Soul Reap, is an area of effect attack that swings his scythe in a cone in front of him, dealing physical damage and silencing all enemies hit for a brief duration. This ability is an excellent tool for disrupting enemy abilities or stopping escapes. It's especially useful in teamfights, where the silence can prevent key abilities from being cast, or in one-on-one fights, where it can interrupt channeled abilities and give you an edge. The cone-shaped attack makes it ideal for hitting multiple enemies, but positioning is key to maximizing its effectiveness. Thanatos' ultimate, Hovering Death, is his signature ability and one of the most game-changing ultimates in SMITE. Upon activation, Thanatos takes to the sky, becoming untargetable and CC immune, gaining a significant amount of movement speed. While in the air, he can target a location to dive into, dealing an outstanding amount of damage and stunning all enemies hit. The execute mechanic is what makes this ability so devastating. Enemies below a certain health threshold are executed instantly, bypassing any abilities or effects that would normally prevent their death apart from Aegis. This ultimate gives Thanatos incredible global presence, allowing him to secure kills, disrupt teamfights, or escape dangerous situations. Landing a kill with Hovering Death also does, with your passive, reset some of your cooldowns, so always look for opportunities to keep your momentum going. Now that we covered Thanatos' abilities, let's talk about how to use them effectively in combos. Weaving basic attacks between your abilities is absolutely critical to maximizing your damage output. Without doing so, you'll miss out on a significant portion of your burst potential. So make this a habit every time you engage. Your primary combo starts with Scent of Death to gain movement speed, followed by an auto attack into Death Scythe for high burst damage and healing. After a subsequent auto attack, use Soul Reap to silence your target, followed by another basic attack. This basic attack ability basic attack pattern is key to maximizing your damage. Repeat the combo until the target is eliminated or forced to retreat. In teamfights, activate Scent of Death alongside Hovering Death, ensuring that you gain not only the movement speed from both of these abilities, but also the additional penetration when you decide to land. If the enemy is not instantly executed, then as soon as you land, you should follow up with a basic attack into Death Scythe for a high burst damage. Subsequent auto attack into Soul Reap will silence your target while doing some more damage, ensuring that they cannot use their abilities to escape. Follow that up with a basic attack to end off the combo, rinse and repeat until your target is either dead, but I really doubt that anyone would survive a full combo later on in the game. Remember, basic attacks between abilities are non-negotiable. The extra damage they provide is essential for securing kills and winning fights. Missing this crucial step can make you significantly less effective in every engagement. A lot of the times you'll find that throwing in these auto attacks are the difference between barely getting a kill and watching them walk away to safety. If you want to see these combos in action, check out my channel, where I've posted some Thanatos gameplay videos that demonstrate these strategies in real matches. You now know what Thanatos does and how to use his abilities effectively, but you might be wondering, where do I play Thanatos? Thanatos shines brightest in the jungle role, where his global presence, high burst damage, and execute potential make him a formidable force. His ability to reveal low health enemies with Harvester of Souls and secure kills with Hovering Death ensures that he can control the pace of the game and keep the enemy team on edge. While he was definitely designed with jungle in mind, Thanatos can also function pretty well in solo lane. His sustain from Death Scythe and his passive and zoning potential with Soul Reap allow him to trade effectively with many gods. However, his clear does suffer a little bit, considering that his main ability that you'll want to level first is single target, and even with his third cleaving auto, he tends to fall behind other more traditional solo laners in terms of wave clear. Thanatos struggles in roles like support, ADC, and mid lane due to his melee nature, lack of consistent hard crowd control outside of Soul Reap and his ultimate, and a lack of team utility and peel. Thanatos will find himself heavily outmatched by the traditional picks in these roles, so stick to jungle or solo for best results. Now moving on to the section that I think you've all been waiting for, builds. I can't give you an exact build for Thanatos, as items in SMITE 2 often go through changes, but I can tell you which stats to focus on and suggest some core items. For jungle, your main focus should be strength to maximize your burst damage. Items like Tekokage, Hydra's Lament, and Serrated Edge are great options for increasing your raw power while also offering additional benefits like sustain or bonus effects. Penetration is another key stat for jungle Thanatos, allowing you to cut through enemy protections and deal meaningful damage to tanks and objectives. For penetration, consider items like Titan's Bane, Heartseeker, and the Crusher. Lastly, cooldown reduction is essential for keeping your abilities available during fights. Items such as Tekokage, Jotun's Revenge, and the prior mentioned Crusher are excellent choices for reducing your cooldowns while providing other useful stats. In solo lane, you'll want to take a much more balanced approach, focusing on aggressive items that offer both strength and protection. Recommendations include Gladiator Shield, Shifter Shield, and Void Shield, as these items provide the durability needed for laning while still enhancing your damage. Cooldown reduction is also a critical stat in this role, as it allows you to use your abilities more frequently to control the lane and trade effectively. Phoenix Shield, Gladiator Shield, and Pridwin are all excellent options that grant cooldown reduction alongside other valuable stats. If you find yourself needing stronger defensive options, consider items like Breastplate of Valor, Genji's Guard, and Spirit Robe, which offer heavy protections while still supporting key stats, primarily cooldown reduction. I think I've taught you just about everything you need to know before playing Thanatos, but here are a few final tips to help you dominate with Thanatos. Number 1. Stay aware of low health enemies. Your passive reveals weakened gods, so always be ready to capitalize on executing opportunities. Time your ultimate wisely. Hovering Death can be used to secure kills, initiate fights, or escape dangerous situations. Don't waste it, make sure it counts. Number 3. Use Death Scythe for sustain. This ability is your primary tool for staying healthy in fights and outlasting your opponents. Missing it can leave you vulnerable, so practice your aim. Knowing when to disengage. Thanatos' reliance on health for abilities means overcommitting can be dangerous. Use Scent of Death and Soul Reap to escape when needed. And number 5, but most importantly, play aggressively, but smartly. Thanatos rewards calculated aggression, looking for opportunities to chain kills and reset your cooldowns, but don't dive recklessly without backup. I want to put a key emphasis on playing aggressively, especially in the early game. This character does a lot of damage, so use that to your advantage in the early game to cushion your late game falloff. That's it for my Thanatos guide. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more SMITE 2 content. Don't forget to join my Discord for tips, questions, or just hanging out with other SMITE players. And finally, follow me on Twitch to watch live gameplay and ask questions directly. I also have other socials down in the description if you want to check that out. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it helpful. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye!